right, it's 5:30. I'd like to call to order tonight's regular Board of Education meeting for Wednesday, November 15th, 2023 here at the MAPS boardroom. Do we have a roll call, please, Tammy?
Nub Zashbeck.
Here.
Brett Waller. Linda Yingling. Paul Prue. Chad Krieger.
Here.
Kendra Osnes.
Here.
Ron Liberty.
Here.
Jacqueline Gremler.
Here.
Kevin Blake.
Here. If you please join me as you're able to stand and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening and welcome to the Merrill Area Public Schools Board of Education meeting. MAPS respects the role that our elected board members serve in the function of our board meetings. Board members and administrators are committed to working collaboratively to provide our students with the highest levels of achievement. This meeting is a formal event and professional conduct is the expectation for all in attendance. Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. Next on our agenda is public comments to the board. Did not receive any sheets. Tammy? This would be the time for public comments. Hearing none, we're going to move right into recognition. The board tonight would like to start by recognizing Ellie Wilk for receiving the Wisconsin Music Educators Association 2023 Melvin F. Honchus Creative Sparks in Music Education Award. That's a mouthful. Ellie is here. Congratulations, Ellie. Come over here for our photo op. Congratulations. Anything you would like to say?
It was like a really big surprise actually, just because it's a state level award, and that's not something you think you'll get. But so it was really, really neat, and a little bit just a background for the award. It's called Creative Sparks in music education, just because it's nominated, or there has to be a nominee or a nominator for the award. So the reason that they nominated it was actually all of the band directors who were part of the Northwoods Marching Band for the Rose Bowl. So like the creativeness was creating 8 bands to go represent like the state of Wisconsin. So because it was no small feat, but it was a lot of fun. So yeah, so that's kind of exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Next this evening, the board would like to recognize Dale Bergman for doing exceptional reporting on school safety with the state of Wisconsin DOJ, or Department of Justice Office of School Safety. Todd Thomas from the school safety consultant at the DOJ said about Dale and his reporting, your district has done an excellent job in all aspects of school safety and the required reporting. He's reviewed over 200 or 400 schools already this year, and your district may be the best that he has seen. Thank you and congratulations. Kudos to Dale and his team.
I have to humbly accept this because it really is a team here that does this. The principals that make sure that they get their drills done and everything, and big hats off to my administrative assistant Tracy. She's the one that did the physical upload when I give her all the information. And it's something we take great pride in, making sure that we're safe here for our students and staff. It's by the utmost, most important thing for us. So I'll accept this on behalf of everybody that was part of this process. And thank you for your attention. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Congratulations, Dale. Now's as good a time as any to turn it over to Shannon just for a quick update on some things that have happened as recently as today.
Yeah, so we're talking about the events of the day today. We had think everybody's received a letter from me or a correspondence from the district. So today about 11:40ish, Patricia Dieter called me to come over to the high school because they had received a threat against the high school on social media that was very fresh and very believable. And so we went into our protocols right away with a student hold. It was during lunch hour, so that was kind of a tricky kind of a thing, but Tricia pulled that off, and then we got the police involved right away, of course. And they got there really quickly, which was great, and their presence was outstanding at all of our buildings. They were at every one of our buildings in the district, to the point where, in fact, so they weren't letting anybody come and go through our parking lots even. And I could see there was a squad car at St. Francis, and I knew they were at Washington River Schools. And I was pretty certain that the safest places in Lincoln County from noon to 1 today were our schools because of the presence. Through some work with the PD, they were able to assess who was making that threat, address it, take that, make contact with that person and put that threat down, and we were able to go off of our hold and kind of stand down by about 1 o'clock, and we were able to get back on our day. So I just want to recognize Tricia and the crew. They did a great job of staying calm and dealing with this and treating it with a lot of urgency and appropriately. I want to thank the PD and the Sheriff's Department for having just an amazing presence and fast. And so, bad situation that we're taking very seriously, and you'll probably hear more about this in a formal setting 10 days from now. But we take these things very seriously, and I want to just recognize Tricia and the police for doing a great job. It was a pretty bad, tense thing for a little while, and it worked out as good as it came. So that's what happened.
Thank you for taking a moment for that update. Yeah. Next on our agenda is our Student Board of Education representative reports. So we have Ruda and Max Black. So take it away. Was ever up first?
This past weekend, Merrill High School girls swim team traveled to Waukesha to compete in their state championship meet. Our team was lucky to bring 5 swimmers along, and they competed in various events. And the swimmers placed very well, and we are extremely proud of all the support of our swimmers that they've received from the community as well as other schools. Congratulations, girls, and all of your hard work paying off. Last Tuesday, Mr. Schultz took the high school students on their first Mathletes competition in Stevens Point. The students got to spend the day showing off their math skills, and they also enjoyed a complimentary lunch, which can be found on TikTok. As we know, our school does a winter formal every year called Peppermint. This year, Peppermint will take place on December 9th, where the Grand March can be streamed live on Facebook for all family and community members to watch. As many of you guys know, last year we started a new tradition called Peppermint Princes, where 5 senior boys are chosen and one final decision is made to be crowned as Peppermint King.
Winter sports are in full swing here at Merrill. Last night, girls varsity basketball had their first game and victory against Shiocton with a score of 67-34. Hockey has their first game of the season on the 21st, and wrestling is starting their practices. On Friday the 10th, we had our annual Veterans Day Assembly. We've had many positive comments from the community about our assembly, especially about our keynote speaker, David Mathias. Olivia Barker was the Voice of Democracy winner for our local area this year. She'll be advancing to the state level and will hopefully continue on to higher and higher levels. In the past, she has won the Patriots Pen competition, so we're lucky to have such a talented student representing our school. The involvement of the National Honor Society and students like Olivia Barker and Eric Mann in the assembly definitely made it more personal and meaningful for me as a student, and my peers I've talked to have agreed. So I would definitely look to implement that again.
Excellent. Thank you for the updates, Brooke and Max. Any board members have questions for our student board reps?
Brooke neglected to mention that today she was recognized as the optimist of the market.
Thank you, thank you.
A round of applause.
And if I could add this, sadly, no one could attend because we're on lockdown.
And I'm not gonna lie, I saw that, and I'm not gonna lie, my heart broke a little bit. But then afterwards, my dad called me and he's like, your school's on lockdown. That's why nobody was there. And I was like, okay, fine. I forget it.
It was about 12:15. I was like,
Yeah.
That's okay. It's the lady handled it very gracefully.
Okay.
She was good.
All right. Thank you, Brooke. Thanks, Max. Next on our agenda this evening is administrative reports. As customary, board members have these in advance and do ask questions of directors or administration prior to the meeting. But I will have Shannon go through them and see if we have any additional questions this evening.
First up is the Director of Curriculum Instruction report. Amanda is not here this evening, but her report covers all of our fall assessment data that we'll be tracking through. She presented that at CTP last week. So are there any questions or comments? And next up is the Pine River for School for Young Learners monthly data, including enrollment numbers, etc. Ryan Martinez is here if anybody has any questions on this. Item C is the food service report, participation, and board bites. If there are any questions, I can forward those on to Next up is Dr. Strike's report, the Director of Business Services report, tax levy certificates, Y-staff reporting, etc. Any questions or comments? Item E is the Director of Buildings and Grounds Transportation update prepared by Dale Bergman, who is here this evening. Summer maintenance projects and transportation updates, other things that are included in his report that was attached. And then finally is the superintendent's report. Just a couple things to kind of highlight. Yesterday, our admin team started round 2 of our 100-day planning, got together and worked through that process, which was very good for us. Our team got a lot of compliments from others down at this OSA function about the way we work together, the way we solve problems, and those kind of things. I think was very productive. So this second round was a little heavier lifting than the first round. So once in a while we got a little bogged down and stuff. But so we're excited. So we'll put the finishing touches on that, and I'll share that next 100-day plan with you when that's finalized. Calendar committee meets tomorrow night for the second round of that, and so we're taking the steps to present something to the board here, hopefully in December or certainly by January. And then one thing that's not on there I just want to bring up is we've been kind of monitoring some challenges that we've had with our 6th grade group. It's a pretty challenging group with a lot of unique challenges, and so we've been in each of the classes. We've met with the principals and the teachers, and Amber's been there, and Amanda's been there, and I've been there, and everybody's been there. And the short version is we need some help there. And so we've looked at every option that we can. We're considering an intern at semester. We're looking at all these things. One of the things that we may end up considering doing, not even maybe, we'll likely consider bringing to the board is an additional 5th section. They're at 31, in some cases 32 per class, per section. As an example, I think 8th grade is 24. So it's a big group with, again, some pretty challenging needs. The reason I bring that up is because once in a while we do like an anticipated or tentative or expected posting just to see if anybody's out there. We're not even super optimistic that anybody's out there at this time of year, but we're going to put this posting out there just to see what the market is. We will then run that position through HR Finance and then through the board next month for approval. Again, I share that because you may see this posting or somebody asks you about a 6th grade tentative posting. That's kind of where we're at. We'll see what the looks like. Again, it's not a great time of year to be hiring people or finding people, but we're going to try not. We're going to leave no stone unturned, I guess, is the goal. So I'm just sure that's that line. If anybody has any questions, I can address those.
Okay. So that'd be like a 5th rotation of class?
Yeah.
And what would it take the class size down to then?
In that 24 range.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
And as far as the funding is concerned, obviously it becomes a budget issue. We were talking earlier between on-field positions, on-field subs. We'll have that space in our budget. we will tighten that up. Make that as a formal part of the proposal.
Is this just a big class, a big group?
No, it's the only one at the middle school that only has 4 sections.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so it's a 4
So
section.
it's not like you got a giant class, they're going to go to 7th grade, 8th grade, et cetera. It's just
Yeah.
roughly the same size.
Yeah, so there's 2 challenges. One is the class sizes, which are very big, and 2 is the high needs of that group. Classroom manager, respect, all those things. It's a challenging group, and so they need to score.
Thank you.
Kendra, go ahead.
So is this enough to help alleviate that, or is it something that if you were able to fill it, you would monitor it, or is it where they need like part-time aid or anything like that, or?
Well, so we have run through the committees, the behavior specialist position,
Yep.
I think will be helpful.
Yep.
So I think it's a combination of those things.
Okay.
I think, assuming we can find someone, and it's not a matter of just like, so we talked about the interns as an example. Well, an intern is someone graduated out of college that has really no experience. That might not be the most effective solution, but we would take it. So we're not just looking for a body, we're looking for a good teacher. And so now we just, you'll see later on in the HR report, we filled a middle school band position. So someone's coming in, I think it's December 11th or something, they start filling the boss out. So people do move a little bit, and maybe that'll shake out. So no one's approving anything tonight? It's just some information that there's anticipated tentative posting.
Is this normal that we feel it out first and then approve it?
No, this is.
The only reason I'm asking is
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys feel the need, why not ask for the position and then post it?
Yeah, so I think it's kind of like timing. Well, 2 things. The position's not on an agenda, so there's
Yeah,
no
well-
for approval. But we want to see if there's anything worth pursuing, and then we would follow those channels. Because if we follow the channels, which we will, then we're talking December 20th, I think, is our next time we get together. And so to post it then after December 20th, we lose that time to kind of feel out. This is unusual.
No, that makes sense.
Other questions on this topic for Shannon or superintendent's report in general? Hearing none, we will move on to committee reports. We'll start with the facilities committee. Attached board members received the draft minutes from November 1st committee meeting. Ron Liberty is chair, and other members of facilities committee are available for questions. Board members have any questions for our facilities committee tonight? Questions for facilities? We'll move on to Finance Human Resources Committee. Attached were the draft minutes from November 8th committee meeting. Ron Liberty is chair, and other members of that committee are available for questions. Any questions for our Finance Human Resources Committee? Questions for Finance HR? Not, we will move on to CTP, which stands for Curriculum Technology Pupil Services. Draft minutes were provided from the November 8th committee meeting. Members of the CTP committee are in attendance for any questions. Any questions for our CTP committee members this evening? Hearing none, we will move on. On our agenda next is the unfinished business. We have none under that category currently. We'll move on to Board of Education business. First on the agenda there is the adoption of the 2023-2024 Transportation Handbook. Attached was the draft of the 2023-2024 Transportation Handbook. The recommended motion from our Facilities Committee. We have a motion on this topic this evening. Ron?
Make a motion to approve the 2023-2024 Transportation Handbook.
Motion by Ron, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Chad. Do we have any discussion on this topic or motion? Kendra?
I just have a question. Are there any changes, like, is it highlighted, the changes that took
Yeah,
place?
at the end of it, there's an appendix.
Sorry. At the end of the whole thing, okay.
Yeah, at the end of it, there's just a appendix with several changes, and it's just some languages and other procedural things, so.
Okay.
During the committee, we had a conversation about the timing of it. It's literally something that slipped through the cracks of it, because we didn't have it last year, this is our second year having the handbook. So we'll try to get this prepared at the end of the school year for next year, so it can be done, prior to the start of school year. The changes were subtle, nothing drastic.
Okay. Yeah, okay, thank you, that's all.
No, do you have a question before Dale takes
Oh, I just saw on this day where Palmyra has gone to electric school buses. Is that something that, have you heard anything about doing that, or is that a future?
David Wendorf and I had discussed that, and it may be an option for a bus that never leaves town. With the amount of acreage and miles we cover with it, he could be stuck out in Gleason or the corner of Langley County with a big battery.
It said it had a 140-mile radius.
Yeah, and that's, but you gotta remember that's also not an extreme cold, and if you get stuck or something like that. They were giving away, there were some programs where they give you a free bus, but you had to trade in like 3 diesel engines, and not trade them in, but scrap them. There's the food groups, and Dave and I talked about it, and try to save some money in that aspect, but we didn't want the long-term benefits that would be. We thought we'd let other districts kind of test pilot that a little bit first.
So you're looking into it. That's,
Do you have any other questions on this motion or topic from board members? Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Do you have any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda tonight is the additional behavioral support position. The topic summary sheet was provided by Shannon Murray. This was reviewed at the Finance, Human Resources, and the Curriculum Technology Pupil Services Committees, and there is a recommended motion. Is anyone willing to make a motion on this topic or agenda item? Kendra?
I recommend a motion to approve the addition of the behavioral support staff member position to the support staff handbook for the 2023 to 2024 school year.
Motion by Kendra. Do we have a second? Second by Jacqueline. Do we have any questions or discussion on this motion or topic from board members? Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Do you have any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the printer purchase for the FAB Lab. Attached was a topic summary sheet co-authored by Josh Zalewski and Dr. Kelly Strike. There is a recommended motion from our Finance Human Resources Committee. Anyone willing to make a motion on this topic this evening? Ron?
Make a motion to approve the purchase of a printer for the FAB Lab from Up and Running Solutions LLC.
Motion by Ron. Do we have a second? Second by Nubbs. Any discussion or questions by board members on this motion or topic? Any discussion or questions on this motion topic?
What is
Go
the
ahead,
printer?
Chad.
What is the printer? You guys said
So I think it's a giant vinyl printer, for like banners and like that kind of stuff.
I think it's just getting to that point of the technology, and they're trading the existing one in, not only
so
for
it's
space.
replacing one?
It is replacing one, bigger and better, so to speak.
And this company's giving us $4,000 for the old one.
Any other questions or discussion on this motion or topic? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Do you have any abstentions? Motion carries. Next on our agenda is the updated Pine River School for Young Learners organizational chart. Attached is the topic summary sheet from Ryan Martinovich. And there is a recommended motion. We have a motion this evening. Chad?
Motion to approve the update Pine River School of Young Learners organizational chart.
A motion by Chad. Do we have a second?
I will.
Second by Kendra. Do we have any question or discussion by board members on this motion or topic? Discussion or questions on the motion or topic? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the personnel report covering hirings, recruitments, resignations, retirements. It's put together by Dr. Kelly Strike and her team. It's updated as recently as today. There is a recommended motion. Anyone willing to make a motion on this topic? Jacqueline?
I recommend a motion to approve the attached personnel report contingent upon release of contract for hirings and upon the satisfaction of the appropriate liquidated damages for resignations if applicable.
A motion by Jacqueline. We have a second by Nubbs. Any discussion or questions on this motion or topic from our board members? Any discussion or questions on this motion or topic? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Do you have any abstentions? Motion carries. Next, as we approach our consent agenda, I'll ask if anyone would like anything pulled from our consent agenda to be handled individually this evening. If not, I would ask if someone would make the motion for our consent agenda. Ron?
Motion to approve the consent agenda items A through D, which includes minutes of October 25, 2023 meeting, second reading and approval of policy 7310, personal property, policy 0164, meetings, policy 5505, academic honesty, policy 6236, community service fund, policy 7250.01, memorials for staff and students, policy 7440.02, smart monitoring equipment, policy 7540.08, artificial intelligence, policy 8121, personal background check, contracted services, policy 8700, nursing mothers, and policy 8913, section 504/ADA, prohibition against disability discrimination in employment, claims, vouchers, and receipts totaling $3,405,987.42, and donations totaling $2,887.
A motion by Ron. Do we have a second? We have a second by Nubbs. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Do we have any abstentions? Chad?
I abstain from the October 27th minutes.
All right, thank you, Chad. Carries with the noted abstention. Next item on our agenda is items for future meetings. We do have a placeholder here for some topics, and I think we have a lot of these cleaned up at this time. But I will turn it over to any board members that have thought of anything that we haven't mentioned currently, either as at a board of the whole meeting or at any committee meetings. Now would be your time to mention that, otherwise to any committee chairs to get it on the next agenda. Anything coming to mind for future meetings? Hearing nothing, just a reminder, tomorrow morning, radio program, a representative from MAPS is on every Thursday morning, the day after a board meeting. Shannon and I are on there discussing the meeting from tonight, so we will be on there approximately 8:15 a.m. Dr. Galani and Blue Jay 7:30 radio. Future meetings, we have Bridges Virtual Academy Governance Board meeting is on Thursday, November 30th, 12:45 p.m. virtually. The Head Start Policy Council meets next on Tuesday, December 12th, 5:30 p.m. out at Pine River School for Young Learners. CTP, or Curriculum Technology Pupil Services Committee, next meets on Wednesday, December 13th, 4:30 p.m. in the boardroom. Finance Human Resources Committee meeting is on that same evening, Wednesday, December 13th. We'll start no sooner than 5 p.m. immediately following CTP, otherwise in the boardroom. The next regular board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, December 20th, 5:30 p.m. here in the boardroom. This time I would ask if anyone has an additional motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Nubbs. Do we have a second?
No, sir.
Second by Chad. All those in favor of adjourning at 6:01 p.m. signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, say nay. The abstentions. Motion carries. Thank you all for your attendance.